There are a whole lot of people who said they were joining in, but it looks like we've got a good tight group of people who join us regularly, which is awesome. Thank you very much.
The cozy, the locals.
The local regulars. Good to have you all on board. Just to kick off with, obviously Tess and Minion and the whole crew are heading off this weekend to convention, which is great. If any of you hadn't seen, you can now get a ticket for live stream from convention. It's $49 US. So if you're interested in getting sort of live updates directly from convention, which sounds like it's going to be quite amazing, just go to doTERRAonlineticket.com. And if it's something you're interested in, you might just want to share that with. No, I've got water. You might just want to share that with people in your team as well if they're interested in getting some of that. Otherwise, I suppose watch the space. I'm quite sure between Tess and Minion, and I know PJ's got a group and a whole heap of other people, there will be regular posts coming through anyway. So if there's the 6 new oils that are being announced and the 3 new blends that are being announced, should be quite exciting. So that's 9 new potential oils that we'll know about, as well as who knows what other products. And those are things that that Emily Wright has spoken about already. So nothing strange. So it's going to be exciting to see what gets released. So either Leonie, thanks for joining us. Just before we kick off, has anyone got any particular questions or anything they'd like to cover? If you do, just either pop it in chat or unmute yourself and fire away a question, just in case. I've got 1 or 2 things to cover or we can talk about, and there are a couple of things to get some input on, but if anyone's got any questions, just throw it in the chat box or unmute yourself. Cool. So what I thought would be good is just to start off with, just to get some feedback from, I know some of you have been watching some of the Starfish videos, and we had a great opportunity on Wednesday to actually connect and do a Zoom discussion with Neil Anderson, and good grief, he is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if you've seen the Zoom webinar. If you have, but if you haven't, please get on to the Starfish group and watch the video, because there was some really, really cool stuff. And I just thought I'd open up by asking, I know Annabelle was on there and some people have had a look, but just some general feedback. Anyone with any thoughts around what they think of the Starfish program, what they think of maybe what Neil was saying in his webinar, anything you've got out of the Starfish program that you think's really valuable, and what your sort of ideas are, because there is going to be another session run in October and probably in December again for those who might have missed the initial Starfish. So can I pick on you, Annabelle, and ask you your thoughts around Starfish? I've unmuted you. So where are you at? What do you think around the whole philosophy?
Oh, the whole philosophy is great. I mean, it's obviously not to be pushing and salesy, but to be caring and service oriented. So I like the whole concept. I had started reading the book months and months ago. So it sort of prompted me to finish reading it in conjunction with watching the videos. And I've missed a few here and there in the Facebook group, but I've watched probably most. I'd say I've probably done 75%. I really enjoyed yesterday, the webinar, and his approach. Although then when I tried to implement it last night, it's harder. It's much easier in a webinar sort of in theory setting than actually in real life with real people. Yeah. So I suppose you can just tell he's a natural born salesman. I mean, that's just he's lived and breathed it. He's sold things, he's sold network marketing for his whole professional life. So, he makes it seem really, really easy and natural. And of course you would want to do this and buy that and, sign up, and you probably sign your life away to him. So then so it all makes perfect sense. And you think, yeah, I can do this, no problem at all. And then the doing it and having the language around it, I think probably requires a lot of, practice, memorization, role playing to do it really well.
I agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be natural, I think some of it still to me sounds salesy and a little bit American. I think he does have that edge that, I think, I can't imagine actually really saying that anyway. There are a few little things here and there. But the principles and the heart and the attitude I really love, and yeah, so last night in my class I tried to implement his sort of triangle wellness approach to class, and it worked, but I sort of, I don't think I'm obviously familiar with doing the Empower kit and following that process, and so I got a little bit kind of, right, are we at the end? I'm not quite sure. What am I doing? How do I actually wrap this up again? What was the question? I do like, and I did try, and I think it worked, asking more questions. I certainly have the tendency to become product oriented and provide too much information, and so I can see the dangers in that, and just to ask questions and to put it back onto people and sit and let them think and have the space to do that, I can see is powerful, but I certainly need practice with that.
Yeah, I that was definitely the thought process that I had. In fact, immediately I said to Craig, I think what needs to happen is actually write out a little possible script, just jot down sort of the possible script that he the process that he takes, because effectively he goes through the Empower kit. He actually does everything, but as you say, it's the language around that where you create a need for, you actually have people realize that they have a need. They have a need to help them with sleep and less toxicity and less, fewer visits to the doctor, and so that they actually come up with that themselves. And then you work the Empower kit into that discussion. And the thing that I absolutely love is, and we've started doing this quite a long time ago, where we ask the questions, those 3 things that people write down, what their health needs are and how the oils can possibly help them. We ask that really quickly, right up the front, really. Give them our story and then say, hey, so what are your needs? Because there's a product and an oil for everything, and we want to know, and then, build this whole class around what people's needs are immediately. So that to me is really, really valuable, that we actually look at, maybe what we can do is actually do a little script up and put it out in our group and say, hey guys, this is sort of what we've come up with. Throw in some ideas here and see how we can make this, make it very Aussify it a little bit more.
Aussified, because he's got the scripts in the book. And it is helpful. It's certainly really helpful. And I've taken that from you, actually putting those questions about your own health needs right at the beginning of the class. I actually took lots and lots of notes in that webinar yesterday, and then I rewrote out a bit of a plan, like a bit of a class plan with some of his language in it. So I just had that sitting in front of me, I guess, and I didn't provide the group with the Empower sheet. I printed out his wellness triangle with the spaces to write the rankings for the different categories. And we got that okay. I think half of the group had done the spoil campaign. They were ready to buy like the second they walked in the door. So part of it was that they'd already worked that out. They were all people that were really on to natural health and wellness really anyway. So it went fine.
That's good. But
yeah,
you would have also,
but it was helpful.
Yeah, you would have also
I
definitely learnt about the buying line, and you probably spoke so much that you got them off the buying line on the other side again.
I think in the end I did, because it was almost, I didn't hand out the what's it called? The price list, you know, with the kits until towards the end. I thought, I'll leave that. And maybe that was a mistake, because then as soon as I handed that out, they were getting distracted with that.
Yeah.
And still had I need to go home and think about it. Actually, the one win, but one thing that was really good was that I did say what he said about, you know, this isn't a Tupperware party where you just look for the cheapest thing to support the person. You know, this is about embracing a lifestyle. And if that's for you and this is the right time, that's fantastic. We can sign you up tonight, have the oils to you next week. But if this is not the right time or this isn't the right fit for you, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
So I did say that. And one of the ladies at the end, she said, actually, this is not, you know, it's not quite where I'm at right now. I'm really interested, but it's not for me right now. And I said, look, thank you for being really honest, because I said, it's much better for me, you know, and you that we're not playing this kind of follow-up game. Or I said, that's fantastic. And she said, right. Yeah, it's so much easier.
Beautiful.
So that was actually really clean, really easy, really respectful. You know, she's still interested, took home the price list, still wanting to have a look. So, you know, it was good. But I'm not thinking, I've got to follow her up now. You know,
I think
so it was
a good one. And that actually stood out for me as well, folks. So for those of you who joined in a little bit late, it was with Neil Anderson from Being the Starfish. We had a Zoom chat yesterday with him, and he came up with some really, really cool ideas to how to actually, you know, get people to sign up and not sell anything to them other than something that addresses their needs. And as Annabelle was saying right in the beginning, he reckons you just say to people straight up at the class, look, for some of you, you know, this is going to be something that is going to resonate 100% with you if you want to live healthy and long. And for those of you who feel like it's not the right fit at the moment, it's perfectly okay. You know, so you give them an out opportunity right in the beginning so they don't feel pressurized. And I think that's really important, because then you take that salesy kind of thing out of it and the pressure out of it really quickly as well. So that's very cool. Thanks, Annabelle. That's great.
Yeah, that's really good. Was anyone else on the Starfish one, or anyone else want to just make any comments around what they might have picked up from Starfish? If you have, just give me a wave or unmute yourself. I think certainly that was probably one of the most powerful areas that sort of gives someone the opportunity and make it very clear that if it's not for them, they're going to have a lot of fun and leave after some laughs, but you know, be honest and share where they're at, which is really cool. I'm going to shoot over to you, Michelle Costello, while you're leaning over there. Have you watched some of the Starfish? Have you had a look at some of it? Oh, I'm losing. Yes, you.
I have a bit. I have an issue. I need to like maybe not sign up to too many things, because I'm kind of getting overwhelmed by all the training programs and everything that I'm signing up to now. I can't keep up. So that's my issue at the moment. So
and one of the questions,
because they're all so great. This is the whole thing. Like, everyone's offering these amazing. Yeah, everyone's offering these amazing programs and training and all the rest of it. And it's like, okay, come on to Starfish. Then I'm part of this other group, and it's like the 7-day money challenge. Then there's this other thing, and then I watch Tara Blitz, and then I watch Vanessa G. And oh my God, I can't keep up with all of it. It's all amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, you do kind of take bits from it, but I'm back to all of the stuff and slowly start working through that again this week. So yeah.
All right. When everyone disappears for convention, you've got like most of September to catch up on everything. So make the most of September, because October is going to be nuts as well, because we've got Emily Wright here on the 11th. There's business training, there's leadership training, there's soirees, there's all sorts of stuff going on in October. So it's not going to get any quieter. But there was a question asked about whether the information is going to be available. So the Facebook posts that are in the Starfish group, if you're on a computer, you can actually just adjust it to show you the most recent posts, and then scroll down. They will be there forever. I'm not going to delete the group. It's never going to disappear. If you're part of that group, then you're always going to have access to it. If you're not part of it and you'd like to become part of it, you're welcome to do that. However, if it's not a priority right now and you've got other things on the go, don't stress. We will run the whole program again, and that'll probably come in October and November. And when it runs again, it will post again day by day. So if you want to do it at that stage when the posts come every day, it will continue to be run in future as well. So Annabelle's actually just come on to Synduit as well, and it's an automatic process under Synduit. So when that happens, Annabelle, you may decide to run Starfish for your team and offer them in a separate group, and we'll put it out to all the leaders and anyone who's interested. But it will always be available. All the material's there, and all of the download material, there are links on the group as well to have a look at it. Okay, cool. Any other questions at the moment? Otherwise, I'm going to share some other info with you. One or two questions that were there around getting 5 ml wild orange bottles. I don't think there's any available to just purchase them separately, but we'll investigate and see what's there. Okay, August, yes, it was Saka. Okay, all good.
But the 15 ml wild orange is cheaper. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of the cheaper oils. So let's just keep that in mind. With 15 mils is really cheap. I go through 5 mils and snort it.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
all good.
Okay. My query is more around, I bought the Empower kit, but I've given away at least half the bottles because I've signed up people more on a one-on-one type basis, and I can include it in my welcome pack. So now I'm kind of like stacks of Empower kit stuff, but
No, well done.
5 ml wild orange, and because I've only just started, I don't have, you know, like a huge return on my investment kind of thing. So I thought, oh, what do I do? Do I just buy whole bottles? Or it would be really good if they made like Wellness Advocate only type sample bottles that you could get at the larger size, or the, you know, the 5 ml size.
Yeah.
Even if it was with, you know, lemon or peppermint as well, so that you could just have a little stash.
So are you saying we should speak to our people, speak to their people, speak to their people? All right.
Yeah. You
Let's
guys
see
have got more pull than I have.
Thanks, Leonie. I think it's a good idea anyway.
It is, yeah. Mannion, were you going to...
I had the opposite problem. I got heaps of wild oranges because I keep running out of Empower kits.
Well, maybe you and Leonie need to chat and you can order some.
I've got like I reckon I've got 40 wild oranges. I reckon I've got about 4 packs.
There you go. Speak to Mannion.
All right, I'm glad I can operate an eBay process between wellness advocates. So you call you and you call you, and we'll work it out.
Okay.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, we're going to meet you now.
Yeah, cool. All right, I just thought it'd be a good idea. I do have a day job, and part of my day job today was an HR training. Part of the Westpac group are moving to a completely new remuneration and performance-based reward system. And it was really interesting. While I was sitting listening to it, everything I do now in financial services is connected into doTERRA in some way or another. And everything I train and coach in financial services comes with the why and the what and the Starfish, and it's completely integrated. So the whole world's changed. But it was just really interesting. They were talking today about this new performance management system, and I thought there's some really cool stuff in this. And basically what the group is doing, just out of interest, is they're moving away, for anyone who's worked in corporate world, they're moving away from an annual bonus based on achieving a final goal. So they're moving more towards what they're calling motivation or motivate system, which is all about the right behaviors, not about hitting a final target where a bank says you've got to sell so many products, or you've got to do whatever. And when I sat and listened to it, I thought, well, firstly, I really like the fact that the program's called Motivate, which means I can now go and sell essential oils to everyone, because they're all going to need Motivate oil as part of the performance management system. But one of the things that they spoke about is in performance and in results and in education, they talk about people having potentially two different mindsets about business or about their work. And the two mindsets that they talk about is either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And when I sat and listened to their explanation, and I'll share with you a video, it's a 2 or 3 minute little video that explains the difference. It really resonated around how are we approaching the doTERRA business ourselves. So the first part of it is we all love the oils, and we're all happy to pay for the oils because we get value for what we're buying. So in the same principle, we should never ever feel bad about the fact that we're earning an income because we run a business. Even though the premise of our business might well be, as in Starfish, start with service and have a service-orientated mindset to the business. But the reality is we've got to be commercial. This is a business, and we don't want to be outlaying more than what's coming in, although we want to be serving people at the same time. So always remember, there's nothing wrong with being compensated for the value that you're adding and the value that you're bringing to people. So just keep that in mind as a bit of a background. I'm just going to share a video screen, and I'll show you, I just want to play this little video for you now. Share, let's go, it's that one. Share screen.
Researcher and Professor Carol Dweck uses the term mindset to describe the way people think about ability and talent. Dweck delineates between two different mindsets that exist on a continuum. The first is the fixed mindset, which suggests that your abilities are innate and unchangeable. The second is a growth mindset, which views it as something you can improve through practice. In a fixed mindset, you view failure as permanent, but with a growth mindset, you see failure as a chance to learn and even pivot. Those with a fixed mindset are more likely to view critical feedback as a personal attack, while those with a growth mindset will see it as a chance to improve, where they can develop new systems. With a fixed mindset, you're more likely to choose easier tasks and put in minimal effort. After all, if talent is fixed, why bother improving? Why even try? But with a growth mindset, you're more likely to embrace challenging tasks and work hard to improve. Those with a fixed mindset are likely to give up when they face an obstacle. Meanwhile, those with a growth mindset will view obstacles as a chance to experiment and solve problems. In a fixed mindset, the focus is on measurable accomplishments. But with a growth mindset, the focus is more on a journey of continual improvement. With a fixed mindset, you're less likely to take creative risks. But with a growth mindset, creative risks are simply a way to innovate and improve. Ultimately, your mindset influences everything from creative risk-taking to how you view feedback to whether or not you finish difficult tasks. And in the end, it's one of the greatest factors in determining whether or not you grow and improve in your abilities.
I like the music.
All right. So I thought I'd just share that with you because one of the things in that video that really resonated with me is where they talk about the growth mindset being a journey of continual improvement, not about ticking off achievements, but it's this continual journey of improvement and learning along the way. So for me, and I think for our philosophy around this business, is it's not about fighting to get to a certain level and competing with people along the way, but it is a journey of continual improvement, self-improvement as well as business improvement. So if you are commercial, you want to get to the point of a growing revenue and a growing income for you and your business. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's the premise on which we started. So I just found that a really interesting one. And if you're interested, just do some, have a browse through YouTube around the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And I'll also just share with you one other thing, which is a couple of little pictures. Let's see if I can do that one there. Okay, so this is just a comparison between that growth and fixed mindset, where they talk about people who are growth focused. They talk about embracing challenges, learning from feedback. In other words, talk to people who can coach you and help you and support you, and learn from that. If you, like Annabelle yesterday evening, went and go and try a class, learn from that and adapt it and change, but be prepared to give it another go. Intelligence and talent can be developed. I mean, we all get better at this business the more we practice in it. And under a growth mindset, you're probably more willing to put in more effort and keep trying and never give up. Whereas we find people within our business who get the first hurdle, it's all too hard, I can't carry on. Life's too busy, family's got in the way, I just can't share anymore. And I'm like, you know, one of the things under Starfish is, will you find a way or won't you? And if you really want to get somewhere, you really have to think about how you can embrace this growth mindset in your business.
In fact, you know, all the resources are really here for us in this business to take on a growth mindset, for sure. So, you know, I don't think that's an excuse at all.
Sure. And then the fixed mindset person is the one who avoids challenges, ignores criticism, sees themselves as a failure if people don't arrive at a class, or you know, things are not going their own way. They don't see how they can improve. They always think they know everything, and it might just not work for them. I've got another slide, and I'll post these up afterwards, because this is 10 growth mindset statements which I thought are really good. So a growth mindset, instead of I'm not good at this, they say, what am I missing, or what am I doing that I can do differently? Instead of saying I'm awesome, they say I'm on the right track. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm developing. The fixed mindset says I'm going to give up, whereas the growth mindset says I'll use some of the strategies that I've learned, and I'll grow and develop my business, and I'll keep moving forward. They don't say this is too hard. They say it's going to take some time and effort. I mean, we all know this business doesn't happen overnight, but you put the effort in, and you take the small steps one at a time and learn and grow, and you will get there. And Tess always says, think about where you're going to be in 2 years' time, or 3 years' time, or 5 years' time. The potential is absolutely unbelievable. You know, I mean, just having a look, there've been a ridiculous number of people that have gone to silver, and there are more that are going silver today, tomorrow.
Heaps of elites.
Yeah.
We've got so many elites and premiers. Nurit, by the way, congratulations.
Yeah, Nurit's on there as well. Really, really good. So the person with that fixed mindset says, I just can't do any better, whereas the growth one says, hey, I'm always keen to improve. And I'm going to...
10.
Yeah, number 10. So the fixed mindset says plan A didn't work. The growth mindset says, good thing, there are 25 more options in the alphabet. So, you know, let's find something else to move on to. Okay. So I just thought, I thought I'd share that with you. And I just think, you know, it's really cool every now and again just to stop and reassess. Where are you at? Are you moving forward in your business commercially? Is it growing for you? Do you need to learn, do something differently? I'm not saying you need to move to full-time and all the rest of it, but I am saying just keep in mind that this is a commercial opportunity for you to grow and learn. And we've got these tools that Starfish brings, which is be heart-centered and you know, make it a service proposition. But as Annabelle shared earlier, when you start a class, be honest with people and say, hey, let's have some fun. If this is for you, please, you know, embrace this and start with a wellness journey. And let's finish up here tonight. We'll take orders and we'll deliver for you next week. However, if it's not for you, cool. Let's just enjoy the evening and tell me at the end of the evening if it's not for you. So start learning and developing some of those skills, which makes the journey for you a better one. And it becomes a journey of continual improvement. And that continual improvement is recognition of you moving to a new rank.
That's it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because your journey, if continual improvement, is to move to another rank.
Don't be scared of ranks. I hear a little bit of people go, oh, I don't want to focus on ranks. I don't want to focus. We're not focused on ranks. It's pretty much like Craig's saying. It is that journey that takes you to that level of recognition for yourself for what you've achieved, and later on what your team's achieving as well. So don't be afraid of ranks and the whole word. Don't be focused on ranks. It's not a swear word. It is a recognition of your advancement. It's a recognition of your soul advancement as well. Because with every rank and with every change, the growth that comes with it is quite spectacular in terms of how you change as a person. And I'm wondering can we ask if anyone wants to actually comment on that?
Yeah,
how have you changed? What is this business doing for you as you're moving through ranks as well? Michelle Costello, you've got your hands up first.
We'll go to you there.
So it's funny you say that, because I actually used to have this thing against ranks. I'm like, I have to say that I don't like it when someone posts the amount of time that someone's got to a particular rank. Like, I don't think that actually makes anyone feel good about themselves or anything. Like, I think, everyone's on their own journey, but, I don't think that, this person's been doing doTERRA for 6 weeks and they're already at Premier, go you. Well, that makes everyone else feel insignificant to me, So my whole thing is, I used to kind of be against ranks, but, and I was actually talking to Catherine about it the other day, and I said to her that, you know what, I do want to get to a certain rank. I do want to, continue ranking, because those ranks have a whole other meaning behind it, For me, it's going to give me the opportunity it's going to get me to go those places where I want to be and where I need to be. So getting to silver or getting to gold or getting to diamond, whatever it is not all about, yes, I want to get to that rank. So I'm happy to say that now. I never used to be happy to say that. I thought there was just something weird about the whole thing. But now I'm like, no, for me to get to Premier, so not Premier, but those higher ranks, has a whole massive meaning to it for me. It means that I can quit my job. It means that I can help my dad. My dad can't work at the moment. It means that Steve doesn't have to work anymore. It means I can travel to South Africa and Zimbabwe and see my family more. So it's not, those ranks actually have a massive meaning to me,
Amazing, Michelle.
Good
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
There you go. I am right now. This is amazing to hear you say that, and thank you so much, guys. This is exactly what we want to hear, and and just know that you've got not just Catherine, you've got the support in us as well for you to get there. So we will talk with you a little bit more, okay? We actually just expect a phone call from Craig and myself, because we'll help you to get there. All right, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you. Who else wants to say something about ranks?
Leonie, you've unmuted
Thank you.
yourself. Leonie?
I was just going to say, I know that Annabelle said to me the other day that I was nearly at, elite, and it was like, what, really? And I thought, I still haven't, between us, still haven't quite got that stuff yet. I've got it, but I haven't figured out how I tell where I am. So it's the same as the last lady said, it's more about what that means that you actually got there in terms of sharing the oils with people. And that to me it's always been more important to make people's lives better.
Yeah.
And if that has a tangible result that benefits me, well, I could certainly use that in my life. But it's
Absolutely.
not the primary motive. I certainly need more income, and I certainly need to have a focus. But for me, it's about making a difference to people's lives. And that's what's driven me for years. And I didn't really know it for a long time, but that's what it is. And if I can do that and benefit and help other people to benefit, then, hey, that's really worth living for.
Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely.
and Annabelle's got a very big smile on her face there too. Good on you, Leonie. Thanks for sharing. That's so fantastic.
Nurit, I want to ask you as well, because you have just ranked advanced, and congratulations. I know that means a lot for you, but do you want to share with us what that means? Like, in your mind, what does it mean for you that your business has progressed and that you've grown to the point where you're at now?
I think that the main thing for me is how many people I've connected with, how many people I've changed their lives, how many people have been impacted in that way that they feel that they want to share it with other people. And that is what I see doTERRA is all about, like, you know, spreading the love one drop at a time. And it's nice to work for a rank, and we all have wishes and desires. And for me, ranks does mean freedom to do what you want, freedom to live the life that you want. You know, my husband is working his butt off, and I'd love to see him do what he wants to do, like write books and stuff, because he's so creative. But and that's one of the goals that I want to do, and he's so excited about how the business is going. But I think the way I see it is that if somebody goes into doTERRA in a mindset for business, purely for the business, I think it's going to be very hard. But if you go over there in a mindset of really helping and listening to people, it gains momentum in a way that, then suddenly it just happens. It really is. And people are drawn to you. People are asking more questions. People want to know more, and people are saying, hey, my parents want that, and my family's here, and you know, like, so it's and that what means that I feel I've done the right thing, if it makes any sense.
Totally makes sense. I love that, Nurit. And you're so right. People want to have what you have, especially if you're sharing from that heart space and with the, you know, with service very much in mind when you sharing this. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
And all the best.
I just have to add, I had a class at the beginning of the month, and one of the ladies that attended is actually a counselor in a New South Wales government clinic for people who are trying to battle drug addiction, alcohol addiction, going through withdrawals. And I just happened to invite her because she gave me a lift to a sporting event where my daughter participated. And she just said, I love the aromatherapy I'm getting because I wear my jewelry on all the time. And she said, I want to use your oils in our clinics to try and help those patients who are going through these withdrawals. And I thought, my God, like a New South Wales government medicine, conventional stuff, wanting to look into aromatherapy. Yes. Wow. She was so taken up by it. It's been a month. It's taken a month for them to go through all the procedure to get approval, risk assessment, because we're only going to do diffusing. You know, nobody's doing anything else but diffusing to try and calm down the area so people don't knife each other while they're waiting. But the bureaucracy that you go through it, but she finally done it. So on Wednesday, I'm meeting them and then enrolling as a preferred member because they don't want to know anything about financial gains or any kind of gains, and that's fine. But we getting them, you know, onto that. That's amazing. I just found that it blew me away.
It is, Nurit, and congratulations, because I think that is a beautiful, you know, testimonial to the way that you are sharing these essential oils as well. So that's very exciting. We might want to have a chat with you about that as well, and just hear a little bit more. That's exciting.
It would be a pleasure. Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, very exciting.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Any other comments from anyone around what it means for them to grow their business and move it forward to the next recognition level? No volunteers.
I was just gonna say, well, on that, I was just gonna say, I will tell you my reason, but I was just gonna say with Nurit, it's funny. There's a lady that's a member in my team. She's a counsellor for at Centrelink, and when she knows people are coming in that are a bit, you know, just to ease them, she'll actually apply lavender and that on herself, and she thinks it actually helps because it's sort of in the air and it helps to calm them as well. So she's been doing that for a little while now. So that's her her little trick, she just applies it to herself, but obviously being in an office,
Yeah,
they get the benefits of it of it as well, and it's sort of I'd imagine being a counsellor at Centrelink would be quite a stressful job.
Yeah.
So but I suppose my reason, I think, whether or not you guys already sort of know this, but for my reasoning to going up through the ranks is basically because we move around every couple of years with my husband's job. He's a civil engineer, but he's actually like a project manager. He runs, we're lucky to be back here at home we've been here for a year and a half. He's been running one of the wind farm jobs here that's being built. So, and hopefully we'll pick up another job close by and we can stay here for another couple of years because my son starts school next year, or kindy. But yeah, my main reason is to try and get up the ranks is basically so we can have the choice of moving back here full time. That is our long-term game, is to move back, within hopefully about 5 years. But it's just got to stop buying farms. But just once we've got things paid off, just to be able to come back, and that's what he sort of wants to do, and see the kids grow up, because at the moment he's gone before they wake in the morning, and he doesn't see them till 6 or 6:30 at night, so he only sees them a couple of hours a day. So it's just about trying to just give us that choice of and that was my long-term plan. Was when I first started with doTERRA, was like, it'd be nice just to have a little income when we do come back to the farm, and I don't have to worry about going and getting a job. And then it sort of took off a bit quicker than that. But that's the main thing for me is to get up to a level where we have the choice of that he can basically give up his normal job and come and have a be back at the farm and see the kids grow up.
Fantastic. Love
And
it.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because you're adding immense value to people's lives. You're being compensated appropriately for it. And you will continue to add value. And I think, Michelle, you make a really good point, Michelle Costello, that what other people achieve is irrelevant, and that's that fixed mindset approach instead of a growth mindset approach. The fixed mindset is always competition. It's if you think about the world of banking, and I can only refer to banking because that's where I'm working, but in a banking environment, and I've got 7 staff that I'm looking after at the moment, but currently we're doing end-of-year reviews because our financial year ends now in September. I've been given a bell curve which says I've got to fit all 7 of those people into a performance bell curve, and somebody's got to be the best one, someone's got to be in the middle, and someone's got to be at the bottom. So there's this competition of, well, I can't admit that I'm not good enough, so I can't ask for help, because if I ask for help, I'm not going to look as good as the one who's achieving really well, and then I'm not going to be at the top of the bell curve. So there's this competition in a fixed mindset around who's the best and who's competing to be the best, and who gets there in 4 months at silver instead of 5 years for silver. I mean, that we've seen this week that Adish and Santoshi have just become presidential diamonds.
You all know who Adish and Santoshi is. They're our grandparents of doTERRA. First people who set up doTERRA in Australia.
So the first people in Australia. So if you can think how they feel,
9 years later, I think.
Yeah, 9 years of a continual developmental journey for them, which has now got them to the point that they have total freedom to travel the world with a diamond leg in Germany and a diamond leg in London, and
I think I'm happier for them than what I've ever been, even for ourselves. I'm just happier for them than for anyone.
But the point is, this is about you. This is your business. Do it your way. And Nurit's made the point. It's about service, and we all agree on that bit. And that's probably the only bit we need to agree on as to why we're doing this. The rest of it is up to you. Tess and I run our own businesses. I work full time, and we're growing as we are. Annabelle is growing really well and will move to the next rank shortly. Nurit's just moved to rank. Danielle's heading there shortly as well. Will be there. And everyone's moving along at their own pace. There's nothing wrong with that. the fact that people above us have done things in certain time frames.
Or below us.
Or below us.
Yeah.
We've got a blue diamond in our team.
Yep.
Good on her. She works extremely hard.
Yep.
It's a full-time gig for her.
Diamond Club,
she's
the whole
brilliant.
lot, amazing leader.
You know, and that's fine. But don't ever compare with other people, but don't ever feel that you shouldn't be recognized or acknowledged for having a growth mindset approach to this business. And take it with open arms, because you're putting in the effort. You deserve the freedom that comes with it.
What an amazing opportunity we've been given here. It's just incredible to share something that is so beautiful and so just delicious, you know. I just say take every opportunity to love yourself up with the oils. That includes rank advancing, that includes earning the income and gaining the freedom that comes with it. It's very, very special. There's a bit of divine power in there, I believe. So I say thank you every day for these oils in our lives and for you people in our lives as well, just so you know. I'm about to have a little tear there.
I can't go without... Yeah, Minya?
Just going to say, and that's the thing I love about this business is I've never felt pressure. You need to hit this rank this month. Never felt any pressure at all. I was just having a conversation with Lou today, and she's like, "Oh, when do you think you're going to maybe go gold?" I went, "I think within 3 months is, you know, achievable and not unrealistic. Like I don't want to be unrealistic, and I want to get there naturally. I'm not going to go and push. You know, what's the point of really busting your behind or whatever you want to, you know, 1 month and doing a massive month and not being able to back it up the next month. You know, you continually, you know, chasing your tail every single month to, you know, to stay at that rank. Whereas it's just nice to be able to, you know, by the middle of the month or just after the middle of the month to hit your rank and, you know, and then help your, you know, your builders, you know, try and grow their team. So, no, I'm the same. It's always been go with the flow and slow and steady wins the race. I think not sort of just, you know, trying to push it. And I see posts on some of the leaders' pages of what people do, and I just think, you know, just to, you know, to try and hit that rank. And I think, oh well, are you going to next month? Like it's just, I don't know. It's never been pressure for me, and I suppose that's the thing. And I suppose that's the difference then with other multi-level marketing companies. You know, I know people that, you know, they're just sales focused and not really focused on their customers. It's all about the dollar and making sure you hit a target, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what my friends, I was going to say, a friend that did another business, and as soon as it started not being fun for her anymore, that's when she had enough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we can't really do that in doTERRA, you know. You can't go, oh no, I've had enough. Oh, well, I guess you can and go down, but the fact is something will still happen underneath of you. If you've set the ball in motion, things will happen. So it's pretty much, you know, when you're in it, you're in it. So you may as well slow and steady, as you say, pace yourself, have fun with it, enjoy, you know, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, rather than curled up in a corner in fetal position and towards the end of the month going, hey, I'm not going to hit it. What can I do now, you know? Yeah, you're ready to eat your children because you're so upset. That sort of stuff, you know, we don't want that. So we resonate with what you're saying there, girlfriend. I'll let you know.
Good one.
Wonderful.
Michelle, thank you for joining us from Western Australia. I'm glad we've got a WA-ite on. Is it still freezing cold over there and you're missing Queensland?
Yes. We had 2 beautiful days last week, and I thought, oh, okay, can get warm here. And yet it went back to freezing, raining, windy and cold again today and tomorrow. So, yeah, it will come. Sorry, I got my times mixed up. So, crazy time of the day.
No worries. Good to have you on board. Yeah, and you finding your feet. I know your first couple of posts were, doTERRA's everywhere. What do I do in Perth? Obviously, Vanessa and Paul have signed up everyone. How's it going?
Yeah. I've just been trying to get things, calm the farm, so to speak. The farm's gone a bit crazy. I think just moving and settling. Yeah, so it's just fun, family stuff. But yeah, I haven't done much with doTERRA. I think I've spoken to about 5 people, but yeah, we're still speaking, still loving, still using.
Excellent.
Nice.
Good on you.
I'll come visit you again soon there, okay?
That would be lovely.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
All right, let's go around the grounds. Anything from anyone? Any questions? Anyone want to add any comments or share anything else? I don't want to leave anyone out. If anyone's got anything to say. We're heading to 25 past. Just unmute yourself or wave. Otherwise, we're going to finish off. I just do want to do one more thing. And say a very big congratulations to a whole heap of people. That's just platinums and silvers and premiers this month. So there's Nurit, well done at Premier. We've got Charlie O'Connor, who's just gone platinum as well.
We've got one who's going to go, Annabelle.
Yeah, Annabelle's had to leave, but it looks like Annabelle will be silver tonight as well. She had a class yesterday and just finally enrolling a couple more people. So really, guys have really stepped up and going really well. So, folks, Tess leaves on the weekend for Salt Lake with Minion as well. The party heads off to Salt Lake City. So, and then I leave on Then I leave on the 9th. I'm meeting Tess in Vancouver for the Diamond expedition into Alaska, which will be absolutely amazing. So we'll share with you what that looks like. We're only back in Brisbane around the 21st, 22nd of September. So watch this space. We'll share as much as we can on all the new stuff coming out of convention. We won't have a webinar in September then because of all the travels and all the rest of it. I do understand that Emily Wright is sold out in Brisbane on the 11th of October. So if you don't have a ticket, I'm terribly sorry. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you don't have one, there might still be some where people can't attend closer to the time. But there is business training on the 11th all day in Brisbane. And then on the Thursday, there's leadership training. There's an emotions training on the Thursday afternoon. And then there's a casual sort of function on the Thursday night. If anyone's going to be in Brisbane to attend that in October. So yeah, that's it. Hope tonight's been good. Lovely to see you all. It's been a really big month of August. BOGO was an absolute winner until such time as the technology just couldn't cope anymore. Please keep a very close eye on people who are still possibly going to have reversals if there were too much BOGO that went through. And those reversals, you don't want them to affect where you end up at the end of the month from a rank point of view. So just make sure you keep an eye on, on
some
that.
people put through 2 or 3 orders because they pressed the button and then all those orders went through.
You did 7
times Michelle's Spicer. Great one.
You really wanted that BOGO, didn't you?
Yeah. So just watch those totals in your teams because if people did that, then they will reverse those extra orders that they've put through and your OV will be affected.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful people.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely night, and we'll communicate through from America and Alaska in the next couple of weeks. Keep well. All the best.
My gala fingers. Bye.
Cheers.